Sorry. You say you've got a heavy heart. You say you've got a heavy heart. You say you've got a heavy heart. It's hard for you to start carrying your heavy old heart. You say you've got a heavy load. You say you've got a heavy load. You say you've got a heavy load. Walking down the road carrying your heavy old heart. And you sure don't know where you're going. You sure don't know where you're going. You sure don't know where you're going. But I say that the sun don't know when it's glowing. The flower don't know when it's growing. The river don't know when it's flowing. You're doing better than you know. You're doing better than you know. Should I do another one after that?
I think you should, yes, definitely.
Fighting for survival is such a boring battle. When I get into my car, I want to drive out to Seattle, where the used record stores have much better prices. But I don't have a car, and I don't have a license. Should I take another walk to the DMV? Get another learner's permit with a picture of me? I'd put it in my wallet along with my $4 and the condom that's still in there that is probably expired. I'd leave home for New York, but New York is where I'm from. I'm just looking for a way to feel my life has begun. I'm living in the city where I'm working like a walrus. But hey, I don't need your money, man, I'm gonna be an artist. And I'm feeling like I wanna do whatever I feel inside. Put it all on paper and I hope that people buy it. And my only minor worry now is how to pay the rent. But that won't even matter when I lose my apartment. I'll really have no worries, I'll be just like a cassette that you've taped up the tabs of to put something new on it. And when I hit record, God only knows what I will be. And if there is no God, then it's a better mystery. For survival, but I guess I must be winning. And my story is so long I can't remember the beginning. But am I an optimist or am I a pessimist? If I see that half full, half empty cup is half full of nothingness. Thanks. Back when I was 4 and I knew the name of every dinosaur, I learned how to read rom-comic books. My babysitter said I was really smart. When the lights went out, everything changed. The radio music made me feel strange, and I had a real bad dream about a gorilla in the bathroom. And back when I was 6 and I took everything real serious, and I thought that every song that came on the radio was referring to strange sexual acts, because they thought I wouldn't know the facts, and being small is hard and no one ever tells you how. And back when I was 8, I would sit outside on an old milk crate and look out at the world from the stoop across the street. The boom boxes and the hot concrete, and every Halloween they hung a million rubber skeletons across 9th Street. And back when I was 12 or so, I swear to God I never felt so low. Everyone but me was making out and eating cookies. I had more than my brain could stand. I threw my life in a garbage can. I felt so weird I had to disappear in crying suicide disease. And then at 15 getting stoned felt good and sent me back to childhood. And nothing ever mattered to me more than that. But then 16 became eclipse and my brain became apocalypse. I was lost and found and I've never been the same. And back when I was 22, I left the best thing that I knew, and I gave it up for fortune and for fame. And I played like I didn't know how. I shocked the world, I wowed the crowd, but I deserved more than what they gave. And back when I was 27, still nothing had been forgiven. Clay turns into rock and rock just sits. So sitting on a crowded beach, I'd pretend I was a leech, and I'd stick to things here and there for a little bit. And back when I was 31, I knew I'd become what I'd become. There's nothing left to reveal and nowhere else to turn. So shocked and withered, dumb and bitter, and in need of a babysitter, I'd gladly let my hand fall off and burn, burn, burn. And then back when I turned a big 4-0, I realized just how much there was to go. And I started to think being alone forever wasn't where it was at. I took my head out of the window and taught myself how to love real fast. I started talking about painting with a woman in a laundromat. And back when I was 50 and my first wife had just left me, I felt okay and I sang my daughter funny little songs. And just when I thought the best was past, I fell in love for real at last. And it didn't even matter that it had taken me so long. And back when I was 63, the public rediscovered me. My comic books and albums had all become rare cult collector items, and both my parents were deceased, so I didn't see my records get re-released. And I got a dog for the first time in my life. And back when I was 74, my dog died and I got 2 more. I still felt really good about my daughter and also about my girlfriend, and I would sing and draw a little bit, but mostly I would just wake up early and sit and hang out with the puppies and wish that I could live forever. And back when I was 87 and my grandson had just turned 11, my woman was dead and my dogs were getting pretty old. And my body didn't work quite like it should, but overall things were pretty good. I was getting decent royalties from the reissued comic books and records. And back when I was 106, my only friend was one goldfish. Everyone I ever knew was dead and gone. And the goldfish never had a name, and the neighbors thought I was insane. And I flushed it down the toilet when I saw it floating upside down. And back when I was 128, I'd sit outside on an old milk crate and look out at the world from the stoop across the street. The boom boxes and the hot concrete, and every Halloween they hung a million rubber skeletons across 9th Street. Every Halloween they hung a million rubber skeletons. Every Halloween they hung a million rubber skeletons. Every Halloween they hung a million rubber skeletons. Thanks. My brother Jack is going to play with me. We've been playing music together for a few years in our bedroom back in New York, and our friend Anders Griffin, who's the most sought-after drummer in New York City, because very few people actually own drum kits in those little apartments. We've stolen him away for this tour these couple of weeks. So we're really glad to have him here, and everybody in New York City is really miserable because they don't have a drummer for the next 2 weeks. He's played he just told me he played 1 gig a week, at least, sometimes like 3 or 4 since September at least. And yeah, if anybody's an out-of-work drummer, and New York City's songwriting scene could use some more drummers.
There's not much money.
There's no money in it, but you'll meet some cool songwriters. This is a song about the worst thing that ever happened to me. So last time I did acid, I went insane. I'll have. We need a band name, really. We're sort of. Jeff Lewis and the Heavy Hearts is like the only thing that we don't totally hate so far, but there's like 20 others that we totally hate.
There's some surveys upstairs.
Jack likes doing surveys, so if anyone has any good band name suggestions, please pass them on.
July about 10 years ago. Why did I eat the acid? I don't know. I wasn't thinking and I wasn't scared. Why did I eat the acid? I wasn't prepared. The last time I did acid, I went insane. And I was hanging with some friends just getting loaded, when all of a sudden my mind exploded. I had a flash that I was gay and I got paranoid. I was sitting on the floor listening to Pink Floyd. The last time I did acid, I went insane. And I was drawing crazy pictures, and before I was done, the picture started pulsing like an alien lung. And I said, oh my god, this has just begun. And it was 12 more hours before I was done. We were up on the rooftop, and I'll tell you the truth, I was convinced I'd already fallen off of the roof. And these weird metal things all around that space, they were teleporting me from place to place. The last time I did acid, I went insane. So we ran back downstairs where it was better to be, but I was trapped in spiral staircase infinity. And when we got to the door, I couldn't go inside, 'cause it was the gates of heaven and I had died. The last time I did acid, I went insane. And this kid named Grim, he punched a cat in the head. He could read my thoughts, that's what he said. And he described what it was like, but I didn't believe it. Like lifting a rug and seeing stars beneath it. And the first rule of dripping was, don't be with people you don't trust. The second rule of LSD, the rooftop is not a good place to be. The third rule is to be prepared. The fourth rule is to not get scared. The fifth rule is to stay serene. Turn off your mind and float downstream. The sixth rule is to have a good friend at hand. The seventh rule, I hope you understand, is not to look too deep into your soul, or you might find a hideous, hopeless hole of hatred, hunger, infinite, idiot, mindless, meaningless, nothingness, 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 nothingness. And that's what I did. Every aspect of life that I selected was instantly and brutally dissected. I saw the horrible emptiness within, the reasons behind everything, and it was that moment that I went insane.
severed, active, verb, proverb, severed city, optical, sewer, holding the handle, that holds all the gates up, punctured eyeball that seems all the read all the books and the people worth reading, and still see the look on the sky of the ceiling, puncture the eyeball. Please raise the flag. Rosy red carpet envy, gorgeous English is tears. This messenger is nervous. It's no fun at all out here in the hall. This is madness. This is madness. All my dreams have been turned into psychedelic nightmares, with Rosemary's Baby pissing in my face and Tiny Tim sticking his moldy penis into my bleeding mind as he cries for the strength to repel the sanctimonious sounds of the white rock group The Grateful Dead. Dead are my aspirations as I struggle for a feebly sweet-smelling breath of life while being choked by the Christianic gas passed by the Most Reverend Bishop George Walker Bush as he sauce it to us. Who in the name of the Lord now, but I'm back from Texas.
Secret desert pizza brother, people building Texas tower, pouring, burning, house the.
understand why you look at me. I don't understand why you can't let me be. I slapped you around and you hit the floor, and now I can't remember your name anymore. Cause I found another girl and she's cuter and younger than you ever were. She could kick your ass if you fuck with her. She's good in bed and she calls me sir. Cause I found another girl and she's cuter and younger than you ever were. And she could kick your ass if you fuck with her. And she's good in bed and she calls me sir. Cause I found another girl and she's cuter and younger than you ever were. And she could kick your ass if you fuck with her. And she's good in bed and she calls me sir.
flies like an arrow, baby, in a wheelbarrow swing where the wind blows static on the radio now. Bats eat fireflies, look at how the time flies, baby, in a wheelbarrow static on the radio now. Stayed up all night looking at the moonlight, saw another bat fly and a firefly died. No more grapes left, no more tapes left, no more time left, no more space left to think that the DJ left his booth. I'm staring at the roof and there's static on the radio now. Time flies like an arrow, I'll be a man tomorrow, the world is quiet, there's a rainbow on the TV now. I will stay awake, the tooth fairy won't take all my teeth away, a rainbow on the TV now. Take my teeth to the cemetery, don't walk up the spiral stairway, monkeys and babies are scary, my mom is not the tooth fairy, I think that the DJ left his booth, I'm staring at the roof and there's static on the radio. There are rainbows, there are daisies, sweet old ladies, bats and babies. There are no babes in wheelbarrows, no tooth fairies, no tomorrows. Where's my past and where's my future? When did the DJ leave his booth? When did the wheelbarrow fall off the roof? And where did the tooth fairy put my tooth? Time flies like an arrow, I'll be a man tomorrow, world is quiet and there's static on the radio. I'll stay awake, the tooth fairy won't take all my teeth away, static on the radio. I think the DJ left his booth, I'm staring at the roof and there's static on the radio now. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. Big thanks to Herman Dune, to Corner Shop. Super big thanks to Seth of Doofus, one of the best bands in New York. They were with Herman Dune on the show, and they actually did me the great honor of playing a song from my very first cassette from like 4 years ago. It was amazing to hear the tape.
Of course, thanks to Glenn and Jeff. And
oh yeah, everybody at Rough Trade who's super awesome, and Jen and Andy for letting us stay on their couches, and everybody else. Dead air. I was warned that if there's any dead air, disco music came on automatically.
It does too.
This is what.
All right. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm talking about the man with the golden arm. I'm talking about the man with the golden arm. Told me it's all
tune? I'm talking about the man with the golden arm. That was probably Seth from Doofus. I'm talking about the man with the golden arm. Are you talking about Adam Green? I'm talking about the man with the golden arm. Well, it was Paleface, probably.
Nothing. She said I couldn't compare. She said my heart was made out of shit. She said I was nothing compared. I'm talking about the man with the golden arm. I'm talking about the man with the golden arm. He lied to me. She lied to me. I lied to me.
How are we doing for time?
You're doing very well. Keep going. We're on the air for another hour and 2 minutes, so, you know.
Good Lord.
But you don't have to do all of that, because I'm here with records, but as long as you want to go, you know.
Is that in tune? I just spent $90 on a tuner because somebody said I desperately needed to make sure I wasn't... Brian Pilton, who's one of my favorite songwriters in New York. I'm always, like, telling him what to do with his songs, and he's always... I don't know. For some, we have this weird relationship where we're always at each other's...
Enough talk, more rock.
So anyway, he was like, you know what, Jeff, what you really need to do is get a tuner pedal. So I finally paid for it before we left for England. So now I'm using it, and I'm in tune. Wonderful. Walking up 23rd Street, I was tired and alone. It was late, my housemate would be asleep when we got home. The sign ahead, glowing red, said the Chelsea Hotel, where Sid Vicious and my friend drug dealer Dave once dwelled. The street was black under my feet, which continued their walking, though I was vaguely interested in the folks behind me talking. Two guys, maybe gay, wearing raver-type suits, and a girl wearing glasses who looked kinda cute. Her hair was short and curly, she had a tattoo on her back, which I could see 'cause her red shirt was sleeveless with straps, but I only saw this later, not at my first glance, but I could hear them talking behind me, and as if by chance, she was trying to describe a song I knew well, Leonard Cohen's song about the Chelsea Hotel, and I smiled a smile to myself when she said, there's the song where he talks about someone giving him a head on a bed that's unmade, and how the song was outrageous. And that's when I got uncharacteristically courageous. I could have left the three of them laughing and just gone on home, but I turned and I faced her and I said, Leonard Cohen? And she was shocked and surprised, but she looked very happy that she now had a witness to back up her story. She looked at me with her spectacled eyes and said, see, I told you, to the two other guys. And my tale might have ended right there and then, except that we started talking about Leonard Cohen and how his lyrics were cool, and how he sang so sincere that it must have been true, and it happened right here. I know usually off the bat people don't find me that great. There we were laughing and strolling like we could really relate, and that we didn't talk about the headline. It was sort of alluded, and our conversation was better because her friends weren't included. The guys were more into each other, at least that's how it seemed to me. And I heard the faint knocking of opportunity. Oh, it's easy for me now, upon my looking back, to think of all the things that I could have said to make me the Mac. Just keep the sad truth in mind as I sing this to you, that we really only talked for a minute or two, and I never got her name and she never got mine, but in those couple of short minutes we had a pretty good time. And on top of that, well, you might not believe it, listen to what she said to me next as I repeat it, that line about getting the blowjob that Leonard sings. She said it made her want to do naughty things, and right about then I should have asked if she knew what the Chelsea charged if we got a room for two, but I didn't, and I know I'm a schmuck, I doubt it. The only thing I did was write this stupid song about it. But if I was Leonard Cohen or some other songwriting master, I'd know to first get the oral sex and then write the song after. 'Cause you can practice writing songs about romance every day, but if you haven't loved, then you'll have nothing to say. We could have given each other a head on Leonard's same unmade bed, but I was too shy to suggest it, and so instead, when the three of them stopped to look through a pub window, I said goodnight, although I hadn't quite meant to, and waved as we walked, although I wouldn't forget her, especially since she mysteriously said, "See you later." So now every time I'm walking, I hope that we meet, and on purpose I always go up 23rd Street, where the sign ahead glowing red says the Chelsea Hotel, where Sid Vicious and my friend drug dealer Dave once dwelled, except that life doesn't work out the way it does in old songs. That's why we sing new ones, to say what really goes on. If I could see her again and we could pick up right where it ended, maybe I'd play her this song and maybe she wouldn't get too offended. But sit there a minute and I'll tell you why. There's more to this situation than meets the eye. 'Cause you might think that it's sad and you might think it's pathetic that I sing this song and that she'll never know it. But if you think for a minute about just what that means, then you'll realize it's actually a wonderful thing, that all around the world there may be folks singing tunes for the love of other people that they barely knew, and it puts a smile on my face, yes it do, and let me tell you that you ought to be smiling too, because the next time you're feeling kinda lonesome and blue, just think that someone somewhere might be singing about you. Oh, who knows if I ever find her again, we'll see. This whole time she could have been singing about me. Probably not. But it could be. That was when thanks, that was a couple years ago when I was living on West 28th Street in this $150 a month apartment I was hiding out in for a couple of years because my grandmother had moved out. We didn't tell them that she had left, and so I was sort of hiding there and hiding from security guards and stuff, and for a couple of years with really cheap rent, and then I finally got evicted, and things are just so tough in New York that my brother and I just didn't really we're both out of school now and don't really know where to go. We've been living in downtown New York for our whole lives, and then at the beginning of our lives that we can remember, that is, it was a cheap area, and it was, a whole bunch of artists and punks and cool people, basically because the rents were really cheap.
It's a hell of a segue.
I don't kill my momentum.
It just doesn't even seem practiced.
And you have to kill the momentum. So anyway, we're great job. The neighborhood has really changed a lot, and both of us are basically just living at home when we're not floating around, which actually makes it a good opportunity to come out and do tours when stuff like that comes up. We had been walking. There was one time that was a particularly evocative experience of what had happened to the neighborhood. Was a couple of years ago when Jack and I were walking on East 4th Street, which is where our parents live, and basically where we live, and we saw this new sushi place open up which was sort of emblematic of the changes in the neighborhood. And sushi was something that had never been considered to be, something cool by anybody who'd lived there before. It was just, eating rice and beans or whatever, local Puerto Rican food and stuff that was there. Yeah, no comments from the Peanut Gallery. And
so we saw a cab.
So we saw this cab pull up outside of the sushi place.
I saw some people get out of the cab.
They got out of the cab, and it was
My
like,
brother
okay,
didn't quite
cool.
see the people.
There was this punk that was there.
Hey, all right, you're ruining the story.
So
all right, let's go.
We were
2, 3, come on. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Taxi cab punks, gonna eat some sushi, gonna eat some sushi all night long. Taxi cab punks, gonna eat some sushi, gonna eat some sushi all night long. Taxi cab punks, gonna eat some sushi, gonna eat some sushi all night long. Taxi cab punks, gonna eat some sushi, gonna eat some sushi all night long. Taxi cab punks, gonna eat some sushi, gonna eat some sushi all night long. Taxi cab punks, gonna eat some sushi, gonna eat some sushi all night long. Taxi cab punks, gonna eat some sushi, gonna eat some sushi all night long. Well, goodbye to the old neighborhood, and this is the new neighborhood these days, I guess. Little story, long time ago. Stop pretending. It seems this game is simply never ending. I'm in the sun, having fun. It's in my blood. I just can't help it. So won't you leave right now and let me go? Let me go. Even just a time to stay a while. Rolling in the ocean, trying to catch your eye. We're going to it's easy. Do it just to please me. Tomorrow will be different. This is why I'm leaving. Every now, we said it ain't it. I wish I had stayed. I didn't think that I'm afraid. I'm flying overseas. I'm trying to feel the breeze. I took too many varieties. I heard the sun having fun. It's in my blood. I just can't help it. So won't you leave right now and let me go? Some other bunch of losers has been covering that a lot lately, and we're pissed off. What do you want to do? See if you remember how to do this. New song.
You guys want to hear a loud song or a soft song?
Loud, soft.
Who said that?
Loud was the first thing I heard.
Because Herman Doon did a hell of a cover of that.
We can't play that anymore after that.
Yeah, that was
With
too
Doofus. Well, this is the new song. Do you want to do the No LSD song? We just did this for the first time the other day. I hope you remember it. But After we played a few, well, the song will explain itself. Well, my album's out. I played some shows. Strange things happened, I'll have you know.
Hey, you're Jeff Lewis. You like acid, right?
No. People hear my acid song, seem to take it kind of wrong. Well, making druggy mentions has gotten druggy attentions, but wanting you to give me something's not my intention. We don't want no LSD tonight. Played a show in Chapel Hill. Some dude dressed like a daffodil came backstage.
Hey, you want some acid? I got some decent acid.
Played a show in Williamsburg. Some dude dressed like a giant bird came backstage. We got a lot of stuff to do and a long way to drive. Thank you for the offer, man. Maybe some other time. We don't want no LSD tonight. Well, being drunk is fun, I guess, but being stoned makes me depressed. I can't do it. I did try ecstasy one time, and one night I drank some codeine cough syrup. But I'm just a tender thing, I can't handle too much stress. I start to fall apart after a couple cigarettes. So we don't want no LSD tonight. But everybody says, don't you panic, give it one more try. Don't you panic, give it one more try. Don't you panic, give it one more try. But did you hear that song I played about the time I went insane? I hate acid.
That was a good song. Hey, you know what? Get some acid.
I sang it till my spirit bled. You didn't listen to a word I said, I guess. It made me moan, it made me groan, it made me lose my mind. I do not like that stuff, my friend, and so I must decline. I do not want a little drop, I do not want a gallon. Did you see those words right on the cover of the album? I know it can be cool and fun, I'm just a bad example. But just to set the record straight, we gotta say it simple. We don't want no LSD tonight.
Hey, Jeff, have some.
No. Everybody says,
Don't you panic, give it one more try. Don't you panic, give it one more try.
No more for me.
Don't you panic, give it one more try.
thanks for nothing. Anders will be accepting hand-me-down cigarettes after the show, however. We also actually, if anybody has any spare change in their pockets, we'd appreciate it being thrown down. I forgot to take any money to England, and we owe Anders for food yesterday and today. And John Peel says the check is in the mail for this. So. What's the scoop here? Time?
Well, it's up to you if you want to keep going. I mean, we've got another 45 minutes to go.
Well, we're supposed to leave the audience one more, so I wouldn't want to do. I should be talking into the mic. Does anybody want to play keyboard on something? Because springtime might be cool with keyboard. We haven't rehearsed it really, but it's just 4 chords.
Where's Ben? I know he wants to do it.
I don't know. The disco is going to kick in any second here.
Springtime.
I don't want to do springtime without the keyboard.
Who's going to play keyboard?
Let's do something else.
One of the engineers plays keyboard. Andy can play keyboards.
Come on,
Andy, anybody?
Yeah.
Keep talking. That disco music is lurking. Just.
You come in the middle.
Give him a good sound.
Try the human voice.
A human voice sound?
Yeah.
Some kind of organ sound. I told you when to come in. The bus goes to the bus stop. The one-way sign points up. It's springtime. There's blue sky in a puddle. There's a bird on the ground, dog on a roof. Chirp, chirp, woof, woof. It's springtime, springtime. There's blue sky in a puddle. The bus goes to the bus stop. The one-way sign points up. It's springtime, yeah, it's springtime. There's blue sky in a puddle. There's a bird on the ground, dog on a roof. Chirp, chirp, woof, woof. It's springtime, yeah, it's springtime. There's blue sky in a puddle.
Sky, there's puddle. Sky, there is blue. Sky, in a pot. Sky, there is puddle. Sky, in a spot. Sky, there is puddle. Sky, there is is puddle.
Sky.
There is blue sky in a puddle.
Thanks to Andy for playing keyboard. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. Thanks to John. Oh, there was one more thing I was going to cover, but it was the Lionel Mole was an alchemist by profession, and he cursed all airships doomed to rely on the fickleness of piggish bladders. I was going to remember it all, but I just it fell by the wayside.
I want you to know I didn't write that stuff. You know?
I know, but it was the amazing dictation of it that so inspired me.
All right, but listen, thanks very much for doing this, and whatever your band's called, and our Andy Rogers on rather quiet keyboards, it must be said. Jeffrey Lewis live at Maida Vale for Radio 1. Let's hear it, audience.